You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, tooth replacement with dental implants. According to my first guest, he says no one should be wearing a loose-fitting denture. With us, we have Dr. John Neely. Dr. Neely, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Randy.
Now, I've got lots of questions about dental implants and helping people, replace their missing teeth with dental implants and sedation dentistry. But first, you do a lot of things in your practice. So who's the typical patient?
Well, Randy, we have a pretty dynamic practice in Springfield, and we have 4 fantastic doctors that work with our patients who might be 2 years old to 102 years old. And we do a little bit of everything, as you said. We see patients that need whitening done and to help brighten up their smile, and sometimes that's all they need. We also see patients that need crowns, root canals. We see patients that also need adult orthodontics. And one of the things that we really do well is we've started to do IV sedation.
Okay.
And that's something where people can come in, get a lot of treatment done all at once. They don't have to take off work for multiple visits. It's a lot safer than the pill that some people do. And not everybody responds well to the pill sedation because they've got a built-up tolerance for some reason or another. And the IV sedation helps get them sedated to a point where they're comfortable and can get a lot of this older dentistry that they have, whether it be broken silver fillings or broken teeth or missing teeth. We can help those people that have a lot of dentistry that needs done, get it done.
So with IV sedation, you're able to kind of pull them out of it as well?
Absolutely.
Faster, unlike the pill?
Absolutely. So say someone comes in, it takes maybe a minute or two to get them comfortable, and most of the time they'll start snoring. We know they're good to go. And then if we need to wake them up, we have medicines that we can put through the IV to wake them right back up if we need to. But most
so
of the
it's
time,
not just for the phobics, the people that are totally afraid?
Absolutely not. This is for patients that just have a lot of dentistry that just has broken down over time. Maybe it's been 5, 10, 15 years since they've been to the dentist. So we can get a lot of dentistry done for those people. They can have crowns done, fillings done, root canals. They can have teeth pulled if they need teeth pulled, all in a way that's comfortable. And a lot of people, Randy, we've heard stories, and you may have heard them too, that people go to the dentist and they have a terrible experience. Whether they are getting a filling or a crown done and the dentist just kept drilling and drilling and they're like, I can still feel it. And they get shot up, 10 times and they're still feeling it. And they don't go back. They're so scared of going to the dentist
really?
after
Is it that common?
They'll
tell you they
common.
felt.
Absolutely. They felt it throughout the whole procedure. Or they were having an extraction and the dentist kept digging, or they had to put their knee on their chest to be able to get the tooth out. And so these people have a fear of the dentist. It's a true fear. I mean, sometimes when they sit down in the chair, they can't even look you in the eyes because they're so scared of being there. And so with the IV sedation, it allows us to help those patients that might not otherwise be able to come in and get treatment done.
Okay. Now, at your center, I guess typically, like you do root canals, you'd have to go to maybe a specialist or an endodontist to get that. So you've had training there.
Absolutely.
Adult orthodontics, you're doing all the crown and bridge, dental implants, and everything's right there. Because typically with implants, you go to one place where they do the surgery, another place they put the teeth on top.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
But you do it all right there.
Correct. We have tried to make it so that we don't have to refer people out to the specialist, so that we can help our patients, especially patients that need the IV sedation. They don't want to go somewhere else where they can't be sedated. And so if they need root canals or they need implants placed, we can sedate those people in-house and get that treatment done for them. Again, all in a way that's comfortable for them, so that they don't have to go through the experience of having a bad dental visit, or if they have a hard time getting numb, they're not going to have that problem when they're asleep.
Do you still hear that? Like, hey, no offense, doc, but I don't like the dentist?
It's a daily occurrence.
Do you have
Randy.
a funny comeback after all these years, or is your goal to kind of win them over?
Yeah, we just try to win them over at that point. We try to reassure them that they're not the only ones, because a lot of people will come in and say, "Oh, doc, I'm a mess. I'm a train wreck. Is there anything you can do to help me?" And with those patients, a lot of the time they're really not that bad off, but they've kind of self-judged at that point, to where they think they've gotten to a point where I can't do anything else. I can't be fixed. And so sitting down and reassuring those patients that yes, we can help you and we can make it comfortable for you.
Dental implants.
Correct.
One of the topics that I invited you on the program
Absolutely.
For. So who's the typical dental implant patient?
Well, there's a lot of people out there that are suffering with broken, missing, and painful teeth. They have loose teeth, bleeding gums. They might even have bad breath. It might be the father who doesn't go to dinner with his friends or family after work on Fridays because he's afraid to be judged for his teeth, or
Is that right?
he can't chew the food that's going to be had at the restaurant, so he just makes excuses and doesn't go. We might also see the mother who doesn't want to go to her son or daughter's graduation because she's afraid that her loose-fitting denture is going to fall out of her mouth.
Is that right? Did they tell you this?
Yeah, absolutely. Randy, I had a lady, just a wonderful lady, come in not too long ago. She told me a pretty upsetting story for her. She's had dentures for 10 or 12 years, and they went to a girls' trip in Vegas. And so she gets out there, they want to have a nice dinner. They go to a fancy steakhouse, and she has one of those moments where she sits down at the table like, oh no. And she forgot her adhesive, her cream that she has to wear in the denture to keep it in there. Car was too far away, she didn't want to go back and get it, so she orders the steak anyway. They put it down at the table, she cuts it up into little pieces, and then her denture falls out of her mouth when she's trying to eat it. I mean, you could just see on her face how upset she was just telling me the story again. She was just embarrassed all over again that had happened to her. And so there she was sitting in the chair asking for answers, asking for a solution to that problem. And really the answer is dental implants. I mean, we can take people that have those loose-fitting dentures or that are headed for dentures and give them a set of snap-in teeth that snap in and out so that they're not worried about having a denture that kind of comes in and out, or when they smile too big, it falls down.
Is that the future of dentistry, whether it's 50 years or 20 years, where all dentures as we know them today will be kind of like attached to something, like dental implants?
I don't think it's in the future. I think it's now. I think, in my opinion, it's the standard of care for someone who's headed to dentures or is in dentures currently for a better life.
Now, you're in Springfield. Are there a lot of people wearing a denture or headed to a denture?
Absolutely. If you look at some statistics from the American Dental Association, the CDC, people aged 35 to 45, about 69% of those people are missing at least one tooth. And if I'm honest, that's me too. I've had two teeth pulled, had to have them replaced with dental implants. So I've been there, I've done it. It's not that bad. With patients that are 75 or older, about 70% of those patients, 1 in 4 almost, is missing all of their teeth. So there's about 36 million people in the United States alone that are missing all of their teeth. I mean, you could fill up the Busch Stadium in St. Louis 10 times over with as many people that need dental implants or need dentures or headed for dentures.
So it's a big problem. So if implants are so good, why aren't all these denture wearers coming in to do it? To get them like where they could snap them in or lock them in?
Absolutely. I think there's several issues, I think, Randy. And so one of the big issues is that we just said there's about 36 million people that are missing all of their teeth. And so those people aren't going to the dentist. The only reason they might go to the dentist is if they break a tooth on their denture or they need a reline. And the problem with that is whatever dentist they're going to probably didn't make that denture and doesn't want to reline that denture for them. They tell them they need a new denture. They don't want to do that. So they're not really getting their options presented to them. They don't know the options because no one's told them. And with the technologies and things that we have now, those people that may not have been able to be helped 10 years ago, we can help those people now.
How old can you be to get this done?
Randy,
To get like a snap-in denture?
absolutely. When I was at a couple courses, one of the big things for the presenters is always to post a picture of their oldest patient
Okay.
that they've done dental implants for. I mean, I've seen people posting cases that an 88-year-old man got 4 or 6 implants to help snap a denture in, and he did great. And a lot of people are like, well, doc, I'm not going to live that much longer. Why do I want to spend the time or the effort to go through that? That patient lived till he was 97. He almost lived 10 years more. He ate 3 meals a day. He smiled at his friends. He smiled at his family. And so I don't think you can really be too old for a beautiful, confident smile.
So 80, 90, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters. As long as they're healthy enough to kind of walk in the door, they should be healthy enough to have dental implants.
We're going to take a quick break. We come back, more about the dental implant process, what
Okay.
people can expect on day one. You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vandermolen, and this is Dr. Neely from Advanced Dental Care.
Do you have missing, broken, or failing teeth? Do you have loose or painful dentures? Are you frustrated with not being able to eat what you want? Are you embarrassed about your smile?
Dental implants can be a permanent solution to replacing your teeth, reclaiming your smile, and getting your life back. We make it easy to get dental implants by offering sedation for comfort and by offering 0% financing options for affordability. Call us today for a free consultation.
Advanced Dental Care in Springfield.
You're watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, tooth replacement with dental implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. John Neely. Now, sedation again. So what different levels of sedation do you offer?
We have several different levels. We have just the very basic, the nitrous oxide that people can come in. We put the nitrous on their nose. A lot of people love that. It's enough for them just to come in and be comfortable enough for cleanings, maybe a simple filling or something like that.
And you pull them right out of it, right? I mean,
Correct.
Once you stop.
Absolutely. We turn the oxygen back on, and in 5 minutes, they can drive home. So there's really no downside to the nitrous oxide. It works very well for patients.
You guys do a lot of it?
We do. One of the other ways that we use sometimes is we can give people a pill to do the sedation, but that doesn't really work as well. It takes longer for them to get comfortable, and they're still aware. They still know what's going on. Whereas we offer IV sedation, where we can get people very comfortable. And most of the time, if we're not talking to them or not asking them a question, they're gonna kind of lay back and kind of go to sleep. And so,
I mean, you're almost known in Springfield for sedation. Is that
We
correct?
are.
People travel like a long way to see you?
we have patients that travel for hours to see us
Because of the sedation?
because of the sedation. It's one of the only ways they'll get things done. I mean, we have a few patients, even to get their teeth cleaned, they want to be sedated. They just don't want to be awake for it anymore. And so we're one of the only practices, general dentistry practices, that offers IV sedation in the area.
Is it like an amnesia effect? Like they almost don't remember
Yeah,
the procedure?
it is, absolutely. We also, so if we do the IV sedation, we combine it with what we call the chill pill. We'll give them a pill about an hour before they come in.
Okay.
That helps take some of the anxiety. Some people are afraid of needles, especially at the dentist getting the shots in their mouth. They're also afraid of getting an IV started. And so when we give them that chill pill, it helps even take the anxiety of coming in and getting the IV going. But once we get the IV going, most patients will sit and chat with them a little bit before we sedate them. When we call them that night or the next day, they don't remember what we talked about.
Now let's move on to the snap-on dentures that you make. So take me through the process. Is it mostly people that are coming in that already have dentures, or is it typically people with the bad gums and the bad teeth that have to be extracted and then that? So
it's a little bit of both, honestly.
So what's the process? Tell me a little bit about that.
When they come in, we'll sit down, kind of listen to their issues, listen to the concerns that they have.
Okay.
Not every patient's the same. They have different wants, they have different concerns. Some people want to smile back, some people want to be able to chew again. So it just, we kind of tailor what we're going to do depending on what they have and what they want.
Okay.
So one of the groups that you just mentioned was people that already have dentures. And
Okay.
the good thing with those people a lot of the times is we can actually use the dentures they have to make a guide for our surgery. So we can do kind of a guided surgery, makes the surgeries faster, easier, the healing is a lot better for those patients. And so we can take them from those dentures that just kind of flop around when they're eating and smiling
Okay.
to something that's snapped down on there. And now they're not worried about going to church and singing in the choir and having their denture fall out. They can go to their son or their daughter's graduation parties and smile.
How many implants for that? For the snap in, snap out set of teeth?
Ideally, you would want at least 4 implants in there
Okay.
because that gives you kind of a stable foundation that it snaps down onto. And the good thing, especially on the top denture at that point, you can get rid of the whole roof of the mouth on that denture. So you can let people start tasting food again. They can feel the hot and cold on the roof of their mouth
So
again.
even if it's a snap in, snap out, you could remove the palate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
so it's pretty amazing because that's what one of the things that people struggle with a lot is the roof of that denture. You know, it gags them, or it makes their mouth water, or it makes them feel like they have a lisp when they're talking. So when you can get rid of that the day that you cut that palate out of the top of that denture, you know, these people's eyes get big, like, oh my word, this is amazing.
Okay,
And so
okay.
it's a really big transformation when they've made the journey with an upper denture, and then you give them something that doesn't have the roof of the mouth on there again. It's opened up a whole new world for them again.
Now, with these snap-in dentures,
Mm-hmm.
if there was, let's say, and I know you can't do this, right? But you said, okay, denture wearers, we're going to let you try snap-in teeth for the weekend,
Correct.
right?
Okay.
They couldn't, I mean, once they've done it, they can't go back to just the denture that's resting on the gums?
I would
In
say
your opinion?
they would not want to go back to that. There's no reason for someone to go back to traditional dentures. I mean, today, in my opinion, the standard of care is some sort of implant restoration for those people to be able to have those snap-in, snap-out teeth. You know, I had a patient tell me all she wanted to do was be able to eat a cheeseburger with all the fixins. You know,
Okay,
the crunchy
okay.
pickles, the onions, the bacon, the cheese, and she'd had dentures for years. Just couldn't bite into the cheeseburger, couldn't chew up those kind of foods. So we went through the process, gave her snap-in, snap-out teeth on the top and the bottom, and she said that her and her husband wanted to go celebrate. She went somewhere,
Okay.
ordered that big cheeseburger. Said when she got it, she took that first bite of the cheeseburger and she stopped and she almost shed a tear, and
Wow.
her husband stopped her and was like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" He thought the food was bad. And it was the first time in years that
That's
she
nice.
had been able to sit down, take a bite of food, chew it, and enjoy it. And it was so emotional for her that she almost started crying at the dinner table just because she had had a bite of food that she enjoyed now. And it can be very emotional for people when you take them from not being able to enjoy food and smiling to something that they can enjoy again. And so nobody should go backwards. They're always going to want to keep that snap in, snap out.
Now, is this true, like somebody in their 70s or 80s, that you could make it so snug where they can't even pull it out with their hands?
It
Like you have to
happens.
adjust it so they can take it out.
Correct. We have, so with the snap-in, snap-out teeth, it's adjustable because the snap that's on the implant and then the snap on the inside of the denture, the snap on the inside of the denture has different strengths. And so we can mix and match those colors to allow people to what they're comfortable with.
Okay.
If you have a big burly guy, he's going to be able to flip those things out pretty easy sometimes. So we put in really strong snaps for him. If you have kind of a little or older grandma, she might not be able to get those same snaps in and out. And we've seen people, you know, struggling trying to
Can't
get
do
those
it.
things out of there. So we can adjust those to what's comfortable for the patients.
And is this one of those things when it's all done, they go, I should have done it, especially the denture wear, or they go, I should have done this years ago. Like they have a
Absolutely.
regret.
They do. One of the biggest things that we see in patients that go through this process, especially people that have had dentures, is I wish someone would have told me this sooner. Had I known what it was, what I was dealing with before, I would have done this earlier. And we see people that come in, they're dressed down a little bit, they're kind of shy.
Yeah.
Guys have big scraggly beards trying to cover their teeth. And when we go through the process and we give them their smile back, all of a sudden they come in, they've got bright clothes on,
Okay.
they look different, they've got different haircuts, they've shaved that scraggly beard off. And when they come in, this one gentleman told me, my doctor's been telling me I need to lose 20 or 30 pounds for years. Hadn't wanted to do it, didn't feel like doing it, so I never did it. When we went through the snap-in process for him, he told me that he felt better about himself.
Okay.
He came in for one of his follow-ups. He looked different, had new clothes on, but he was skinny. And when I sat down and started talking to him, I said, "What happened?" He said,
Okay.
"I looked in the mirror and I felt better about myself.
That's
I
nice.
wanted to take care of myself." He joined a gym and lost the 20 or 30 pounds that his doctor had been trying to get him to lose for years.
So how real can it look? I always feel like I could spot a denture walking down the street or fake teeth walking down the street.
Right.
How real? Tell me about that.
That's one of the big fears that people have when going into a denture. They don't want people to know that they have a denture.
Okay.
And when we go through our process, even if, say, someone just does a regular denture, they don't do the snap-in teeth, we go through the same process with them to get that smile looking as natural for them as we would for someone with a snap-in, snap-out denture. And so we have the best materials, we work with the best labs to give that as natural an appearance as you can be. And I would say that if you looked at a few of our denture patients, you wouldn't know.
Can't tell.
You wouldn't know they have dentures.
Now with the implants that are snapped in, snap out, how soon can they eat after the procedure?
Once they've snapped in and snapped out of those dentures and we get them physically attached, they can leave that day and start eating again. And there's really no time frame. Once they've been attached, that's what we call it, we attach them onto those implants. They can walk out that day. They can go eat a salad with the carrots or the croutons, whatever, something they haven't had in years. And a lot of patients, when they have broken or missing teeth, teeth that are painful and hurt, that they don't eat that much because the teeth hurt so bad that they're not chewing their food. The same with people that have dentures. A lot of the time they're just kind of mushing their food together. They're not really chewing it. And so the diet ends up being something that's softer, it's not that good for them. Or if they do try to eat good foods, they're eating little bits and then they just swallow it whole, so it affects their digestion.
So they chew better. Their digestion improves.
Absolutely. So their diet improves where they may have been eating stuff that was bad for them before because that's all they could eat. Now they're eating those salads with the croutons. They're eating the healthier foods. And again, they want to take care of themselves because they feel so much better about themselves with a new smile.
Now, your practice has been around for more than 15 years, thousands of regular dentures. So for those, let's say that they've stumbled onto this interview.
Sure.
And they're currently wearing a denture. What do you want them to know about dental implants?
I would want them to know that the time is now to come in and get them looked at, because the longer you wait, sometimes the harder it can be to get those implants in there. Now, with today's technology, the scanning equipment we have, the bone building technology, guided surgery, almost everyone can be a candidate for dental implants.
Yeah, but isn't it true if you've been wearing a denture like 20 years, you can't do this, you don't have enough bone?
Maybe 20 years ago that was so, but now I would say that's not the case, because again, we have bone building techniques where we can build that bone back to be able to get to a point where we can get implants in there again.
What about bad gums? Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
I mean, what if you have gum disease?
Gum disease?
The implants won't stay in the gums?
Not necessarily. So gum disease is a problem with the teeth themselves, and that's one of the big reasons that people lose their teeth, is they get the gum disease. It kind of destroys that foundation around the teeth. But as long as they have good bone still underneath of those bad teeth, we can still put dental implants in there.
So you clean the gums?
We clean the gums, we can get all of that infection, the bad bacteria out of there, and then put those dental implants in and have them heal. And whether they just needed one tooth replaced replaced or whether they need, the snap in, snap out teeth, even if they've had that gum disease, we can still help them.
So insurance, we got to mention this. So even the best dental insurance only covers a small part. Medicare, Medicaid doesn't cover it. But
Right.
people finance this?
They do, absolutely. One of the biggest concerns, again, that people have is money. Some people might self-diagnose a little bit and think, I can't do this, because they think they need a dental implant per every tooth that comes out. And that's just not the case. I mean, with 4 dental implants, we can give someone a full set of teeth that snaps in and snaps out. And people in our practice are normal people. We have police officers, firemen, teachers, state workers. When they figure out what the dental implants can do for their lives, they can make it happen. And
They want to do it.
They want to do it. So we have different financing options. We have different in-house payment plans. We have all kinds of different ways to help the patients make this work, because we know what kind of a benefit this is for them, and we don't want the finances to be what holds them up from improving their lives.
What do they like more, the way it looks or what they could eat when they get a snap-in set of teeth?
I would say it's a little bit of both. What normally happens is if we give someone a set of teeth, whether they came in for the smile or whether they came in for the function, we give them both back. I could talk for hours about how the teeth are supposed to come together, how they're supposed to work. But when it comes down to it, if someone came in for the smile, and now they can eat those salads, they can eat the juicy steaks. They're wanting to go to those new restaurants in town and try the new food without looking at the menu first and seeing, is there anything on here that I can eat? If they came in for the function, now all of a sudden it's those people that were kind of dressed down, a little shy before. They're coming in maybe flirting with the girls at the front desk. They've got the compliments. I had a lady come in the other day and tell me that she was on the way into Walmart and she got stopped by a complete stranger. And the lady's I just wanted to tell you what a beautiful smile you had.
That's nice.
You can just see the joy on these people's faces when they get compliments like that. Another lady told me that she was watching her grandchildren, and one of the grandchildren looked up at her and said, "Nana, you're happier. You smile more."
That's good.
And you just can't put a price on getting compliments like that. It makes you feel better about yourself.
Good.
And so when you give people the smile or the function back, they get both back.
Do they go to the website or they just call you to make an appointment?
Absolutely.
Either one?
They can do either one.
Okay.
If they want to go to our website, we've helped hundreds and hundreds of people over the years through this process. And we have many before and afters, many patient testimonials on our website.
Good.
So if they want to hear firsthand from someone who's been there and done it, it's a great way to do it. Then they can call our office, set up a free consultation so that we can sit down, help them find a solution that's right for them.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Good stuff.
All right, thank you, Randy.
You've been watching the Wellness Hour, news that makes you healthier. I'm Randy Alvarez. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.